Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Spin It Reviews. And today I'm going to be talking about what I got on Record Store Day. Oddly enough, for a channel called Spin It Reviews, I haven't really talked about vinyl much, if at all. I mean, I showed a couple LPs in that San Diego Bands video, but I haven't really talked about an album on vinyl or even reviewed an album that was on vinyl. So I figured that doing Record Store Day would be a good opportunity to sort of do that for the first time. I've been collecting for about 3 or 4 years now, after my dad gave me his collection. And it's just been a really rewarding thing for me, like, buying older and newer releases. You know, they say about, like, the older stuff is less expensive, the newer stuff is more expensive, because, you know, vinyl's more rare nowadays. But I like it's been making a bit of an upswing lately in terms of sales, like with Record Store Day. In case any of you don't know what Record Store Day is, it's basically when a bunch of artists and bands put out exclusive vinyl material for record stores, independent record stores, and on vinyl, sometimes on CD, but mainly vinyl. And it's just, it's a really important thing nowadays. It's been going on for about 7 years. I've been doing it for about 3. This is my, I'm not including the Black Friday stuff, which would mean this is my 5th time doing a Record Store Day related thing. Yeah, I got pretty much everything I wanted. So I'm gonna start going over this in a little bit. Before anything else, I want to talk for a little bit about, you know, some various things relating to Record Store Day. First off, the record store I go to, Lose Records, I've been going to it for quite a few years, since I've lived in the area for about 7 years or so. So I've been going there basically as long as I've been into music, and it's a great record store. I won't go too in depth into it since this is more about the Record Store Day stuff. But yeah, if you live in the northern San Diego County area, be sure to go there if you're in the area, because yeah, a great place. Also, there are some Record Store Day releases that I heard about or that I heard stream online that I want to quickly mention. First up, Green Day, Demolicious is basically a compilation of demos from the Uno, Dos, and Tre albums, which got kind of mixed reception, but I personally really liked. I think they could have kind of cut down to a double album, but that's just me. Yeah, they basically made these, like, raw demos for it. I haven't heard all of them yet. I've heard a few, and yeah, they seem to, sort of come out of what happened in, like, the Kerplunk kind of days. Like, it's, pretty interesting. I haven't heard the whole thing yet. I'd be doing, like, a quick review on this channel or something. Also, there's the fun, Point and Light, they're demos from the Aim and Ignite album, which is probably one of my favorite albums of the last 5 years. It's just a fantastic, well-orchestrated, and insanely catchy pop album. Indie pop, specifically. I mean, Some Nights is great, but I kind of prefer Aim and Ignite over it. But anyway, this is 5 demos from it, of The Gambler, At Least I'm Not as Sad as I Used to Be, Light and Rolling Candle with Me, I Want to Be the One, and Benson Hedges. All great picks. Basically, they're a bit more stripped down, a bit less lushly produced, and there's some sort of changes to it. Like, I Want to Be the One is a bit more guitar driven. Like, that's higher in the mix than piano, which is kind of the opposite of the album version. Also, The Gambler and I think Light Roman Candle with Me are a lot more piano ballads. Like, they don't have quite the build of the the album versions, which is pretty interesting to hear. I don't really hate that I didn't end up not getting it, but yeah, it was pretty interesting to hear. Also, I ended up getting pretty much everything I wanted, like, out of my initial list, but if I didn't, then the 2 I would have gotten otherwise are the Bayside 7-inch Time Has Come. I know about them now because of Warped and because some friends are into them, and yeah, great pop punk alt rock stuff. Also the Ramones EP, Meltdown with the Ramones, like this 1980s sampler. Yeah, I probably would have gotten that because it'd be cool to have some Ramones on vinyl, but you know, I suppose it's not that important to release, so I don't hate that I missed it. One more thing before I get into this stuff. the original thing I wanted, like the number one thing I wanted before I called the record store and asked about the prices, was the Cake vinyl box set. They're probably one of my favorite bands at this point, and well, at least because of how unique they are, and all their albums were in this box set, including a live album that's never been released before, and I was really hoping to get my hands on it. Then I called them, and it was $126, which would actually leave me with about $20 total. So yeah, that was a no, but yeah, I'm still happy with my purchases here, which we'll get to now. Before the actually exclusive Record Store Day vinyl releases, I want to show you the CD single I got of the Black Keys Fever. Basically, what Record Store Day people do sometimes is, for independent record stores, they make a CD single of a band with an upcoming album that includes a $2 off coupon for the album itself when it comes out, which is kind of a cool thing, because this is $2, so you kind of get two physical things for the price of one. And as for the song itself, I really like it. I know it's been kind of polarizing, because, oh, it's not blues rock, but I'm going to get more into that in the actual review I do of the album around the time it comes out. And it also comes with the title track, Turn Blue, which I'm also really liking. They have sort of more of a kind of synth-driven, kind of psychedelic rock kind of thing going on. I imagine they kind of appeal to Broken Bells fans, since they're working in Danger Mouse. But yeah, this is great. Oh, and sorry if I'm kind of talking fast here, but actually filmed all of this before, but it was just way too long and rambly, so I'm trying to keep this a bit tighter. Also, a pretty cool thing that came with my purchases is this CD single of Robert Randolph and the Family Band, Born Again. Yeah, I've heard about this guitarist a lot, and it's kind of cool to hear something of his. It's sort of a blues, gospel, soul hybrid. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to hear. The only downside is that, when it comes to the stuff I was included, is that I was kind of hoping that we get another Sub Pop compilation, because in 2012 and 2013 I got these Sub Pop compilations that introduced me to a lot of great bands. And I was kind of hoping they'd do the same again this year, but I don't know, maybe Lose didn't get him this year or something, or just didn't come in mine, I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of sad. Also, one more thing before getting into the actual Record Store Day releases on vinyl I have. Justice Matches, the electronic music duo, they have Matches. It's kind of random. I mean, they're promoting an album that came out in 2011 with Matches. But, what you gonna do? Anyway, let's move on. First up is Cage the Elephant's Take It or Leave It 7-inch. As you guys might recall if you saw my favorite albums of the year thing or saw the review, Melophobia by Cage the Elephant is was my number 6 album 2013. It was just a fantastic step up from the rest of their work. Even though I did like that, it just took more experimentation stuff, and Take It or Leave It is one of the highlights. It's the second single from the album after Come a Little Closer, and I think that's a very good choice. I think they could have chosen any song from it, except maybe Teeth, which is obviously not my favorite, but yeah, Take It or Leave It, great song, cool artwork. The B-side, Jesse James, it's a lot more energetic than a lot of stuff on Melophobia. I'm not sure if I like it better than any songs on Melophobia, but it's still a very good song. Like, I imagine it would appeal a lot to the fans of the first couple albums that wish that Melophobia was a little more raw than in just a few tracks. I mean, this song isn't exactly like in your face, you know, but it's kind of poppy, kind of more groove driven, but yeah, great. I really like the 7-inch. Moving on. Next we have Ready Boys and Girls by Tears for Fears. This is a 10-inch EP of 3 covers they released over the last like 6 months or so. My Girls by Animal Collective, which you're listening to now on Turntable. Ready to Start by Arcade Fire, and I Was a Boy from School from Hot Chip. I do really like all these songs, and Tears for Fears, synth pop band, new wave, kind of a dark feel, best known for like a Mad World, Pale Shelter, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Shout. They really do all these songs justice, kind of add their own touch to it, but at the same time not completely transforming them. Except for Ready to Start, it's kind of interesting. They sort of gave it more of a somber feel with like strings and kind of a slower delivery, but yeah, all these covers really do the songs justice, and I especially really like. I love when an older band or artist shows that they're still a music fan when it comes to newer stuff, like them covering bands like Arcade Fire and Animal Collective. It's not like collaborating with a pop star to stay relevant. Like, this is like a pretty respectable showing, and just for that, I feel like I had to get this. Moving on. Next, we have Draw the Line by Aerosmith. They reissued a few albums of theirs: Rocks, Draw the Line, Rockin' a Hard Place, and Night in the Ruts, which are not exactly their most popular albums, with the exception of Rocks, which is probably my favorite of theirs. I've actually been an Aerosmith fan for a very long time, about half my life. Sorry, I'm going to slow down a little. And yeah, I haven't heard Draw the Line in full yet, which is why I decided to get this, because it's the only one out of those that I both haven't heard yet and features the original band. Yeah, it has some classics on it, like Draw the Line, Critical Mass, Kings and Queens. Latter two don't get that much radio airplay, but you know, they're singles. All great songs. I haven't listened to the album yet, as well as the other full album I'm going to show you later. But yeah, this is I'm really happy to have some Aerosmith on vinyl. See, it's got this cool little insert here with the logo and stuff. And what I appreciate is that a sticker on the package, on the plastic wrap packaging, which I've obviously unpackaged, it said that this came from the original studio masters, which is a very commendable thing, because they could have easily just like taken it from like the compressed newer reissues on CD and stuff, but yeah, they took it from the original stuff with source, which is a very commendable thing. So yeah, moving on. And last but not least, I'm not going to play this on the turntable because it's all about what the record looks like. Paramore's Ain't It Fun 12-inch single. No, this isn't broken. It's a 7-inch in what looks like a broken LP, which is a very creative design choice, and it's part of the reason why I got it, obviously. Also, this is one of my favorite songs from their self-titled album, which is one of my favorite albums of 2013. It was in my top 5. And yeah, I love that this is the next single, and you especially appreciate this concept if you've seen the Ain't It Fun video. It sort of correlates with that. And I think this might be my favorite thing out of the Record Store Day releases I got, because it's just so interesting. Like when you see it play, I'm actually going to show you. I'm going to upload a little clip of it playing on the turntable on the Facebook page. I'll link the video down there. But yeah, this is pretty interesting thing. But that's not all. Afterwards, I went to Macbeth, the store owned by Tom DeLonge, which I kind of talked about in my San Diego Bands video. And they were kind of having a Record Store Day related thing. They didn't have any releases for Record Store Day, but they had sort of a mini record store in the store. And I figured that I would get a couple things. So, first up, Def Leppard's On Through the Night. Def Leppard, some people might know, is probably my first favorite band. This is one of like 3 or 4 albums I haven't heard from them. So it'll be pretty interesting seeing their roots, because this is their debut from like 1980. When they were part of that new wave British heavy metal thing with like Iron Maiden, Motorhead. I know the songs Rock Brigade and Wasted, which are both on the Rock of Ages compilation. But yeah, this is a really interesting thing. With both this and the Aerosmith album, I'm going to be talking about both in my Fabric Basket series on the Facebook page, where I talk about older albums, where I review older albums. Yeah, I really expect a lot from this. And the last thing I got today, which I got there, is this Beatles 45 for yesterday. I don't have any Beatles on vinyl. This is a bit overdue, and yeah, I'm glad I got this for like $5. What I really find interesting about this is that this is probably the oldest vinyl thing I have here, and because from 1965, the other thing was like from 1970 or something. But you can I love that you can hear like the real like crackling and the kind of the overall vintage value of it, and for a music enthusiast like myself, it's a very rewarding experience. I kind of want to close out this video with a small rant about a really dumb argument people make against Record Store Day, saying that basically because some people take these releases and sell them on eBay for higher prices, that Record Store Day is a sham and a joke, and it's just a bad thing. When that's really such a narrow-minded and ignorant way to think about it, because when you really think about the cons of Record Store Day, it puts people into record stores, builds up these independent businesses, gets people these really cool vinyl releases, and just gets more people into physical mediums of music as opposed to just downloading online, which, I mean, I'm not completely against. I'm going to make a rant against format elitism in the future. But the point is that just that little con isn't enough for Record Store Day in general to be a bad thing. I mean, would you boycott Ticketmaster if because of scalpers? Would you stop going to stores because of shoplifters? Like, no matter what, for pretty much any good thing, there's gonna be the douchey, deceptive people that try to ruin it for everybody, with their own selfish actions for their own gain. When really you just gotta forget about that, because those people are always gonna be doing their stupid stuff, and just focus on the good that things like Record Store Day really do. So for those of you that also participated in Record Store Day today, what'd you get? Just let me know. It's listed in the description in the comments down below. Maybe along with stuff that was sold out that you wanted to get. Because, fortunately that happened for me this time. But I mean, I know that happens for a lot of people, myself included. For a good majority of the time, I was just kind of lucky. Or if you didn't go to Record Store Day this year, what did you get the last time you were at an independent record store? Again, let me know in the comments. Feel free to share this video around with some people who might like it. I would really appreciate that. Like the Facebook page in the description down there for updates, commentaries on music news, and again, reviews of older albums. And hopefully I'll see you on the next episode of Spin It Reviews.